Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. Okay, so we have 20 days left for CAT 2021, and now you must be in the revision phase of your preparation. So today I'm going to talk about that what is the importance of these days and like why mock analysis is very important during these days, and that can help you improve your performance in the actual examination, right? So I'm sure you must be done with the syllabus. It is not the time to start the syllabus, or I mean start any new topic, not the complete syllabus itself, but also any new topic. It's not required to start any such thing new. What you need to do in these days is just revise the things, and one of the things that you must be revising is your mocks. Okay, so we'll discuss that why mock analysis is important during this phase. Okay, and how we can utilize this thing to maximize the performance in the examination. Okay, so this is our YouTube schedule, right? You can subscribe to our channel and watch these classes on our channel. Okay, and so there are 20 days left for the examination. Today is 8th. On 28th you have the examination, so 20 days left for it, and I hope your preparation is going good, right? So if we talk about mock test, right, whenever you go for any performance, what do? You do dress rehearsal before the thing, right? So if you're going to act something, right, so that is one thing, that is in the end you do dress rehearsal, right? So same way here, that you are taking mock test, right, and that serve as a rehearsal for the final performance. You're going to perform on 28th of November, so you have to have some sort of rehearsal. So that is mocks. Mocks are the ones that are going to help you this, right? Okay, and so that is what we are going to discuss today. PYPQs are enough for score improvement. See, enough. See, there is no definition of enough, right? So you have to there is no definition of enough, right? If some people get enough by taking some 5-10 mock tests, some people do not get enough by taking 30-40 mock tests also. But yes, PYQs should be taken, right? You should attempt those past year papers so that you understand the flavor of questions that have been asked, the different varieties of questions across different sections, the difficulty levels what have been throughout the years. Okay, all right. Now what are the purpose of taking mocks? Why should one take mocks? And I hope you already know these things. So first reason is you identify the knowledge gap, okay, and fill them. So while studying, you study things, but you do not know what are the things you do not know. Okay, you are not aware that I'm not aware of this concept. These are the things that I take too much time on, right? So all those things you do not know कि मुझे ये method नहीं पता, right? मुझे like RCs में इस तरह के question solve नहीं करने आते, or maybe in DILR I do not know these kind of sets, right? So all those knowledge gaps can be identified when you take mocks. Secondly is you identify your strengths and weaknesses. So you understand that my geometry is strong, right? My algebra is weak. I am not good at modern mathematics. Or maybe my verbal ability part is good, by my reading comprehension accuracy is low, right? So all these things, now this cannot be identified by one mock, because one mock you might have fluke, right? Or maybe it had easy questions, so you were able to do good. But when you take a good number, you take a good sample, let us say 8 to 10 mocks, you will be identifying your strengths and weaknesses very thoroughly. You will know that in each section, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, and accordingly I will be attempting the paper. You have to understand the pattern of mistakes, which is very important, right? So each person will be making some certain kind of mistakes. Maybe you spend too much time into the questions, that is your way of making mistakes, that you spend too much time, or you start with the wrong set of questions, right? So when you take mocks and you see them, you understand that what are the type of mistakes that you are committing. Maybe you make some silly mistakes in quant, right? So that is the thing that is served by taking mocks. And then of course smart approaches, Okay, so when you solve mocks, maybe you are unable to solve it, but when you see the solutions, if the solutions are good enough, then you will be able to learn smart approaches. Acha, some geometry question, right? Maybe you are applying some theorem, long method or something, but in the solution they have given some very short way to solve the question. Let us say some question in algebra or DILR, anything which is mentioned in a smart way. So learn those methods once you analyze the mocks. And you also learn time management. You learn that how much time should I give to a question before skipping it, right? How should I balance my RCs? How much time should I give to different RCs, right? How much time should I give to verbal ability? How much time should I give to RCs? Similarly in quant, right, what portion of time should I give to arithmetic or geometry, which is I find easy, and the difficult topics, how much time should I give to it, right? In DILR, how many sets can I do in the maximum possible time by allotting certain time, right? So those things you learn through that. Now mocks and then analysis is very important, right? Some people just take mocks, right? So taking mocks is not sufficient, right? Some just giving some marks, giving a test and then just coming out, okay, I got a score of this, I got 70 marks, I got 90 marks. That is not going to help you at all. Even if you are getting 50 marks, but you analyze it thoroughly, it will be better than getting a 90 marks and not checking anything. Okay, so that means that analysis is very important and you should treat them like actual examination, right? Although mocks are actually much more difficult than the actual examinations, many people get demotivated by the scores. Don't worry, but treat them actual examination in the sense that he timing wise, okay, जैसे 2 hours का take complete 2 hours, right? Suppose let us say someone designed a mock, they forgot to put sectional timings, right? Sometimes it might happen, maybe some technical glitch or some issue with the paper, or you are solving past year paper, right? So make sure the timing is accurate, right? Take them in one sitting, right? Sometimes they give the option pause and play, मतलब आप पहले दे दो फिर आपने pause कर दिया, फिर when you resume you will be able to resume. No, make sure that you take like actual examination, right? 2 hours, take them seriously, do not cheat, right? So maybe like let's say some question is asked in RC about some like they have asked the vocabulary question. Let's just giving an example. So do not cheat from some source, right? So do not do any unethical practice. Take it seriously. Even if your scores are low, don't worry. Attempt in timed mode. That is very important to understand how much time, how many questions you can solve in the given time, right? Avoid guessworks, right? Now what happens is, if you do guesswork and maybe you are lucky on that day, right? Maybe that's your lucky day, okay, and you get too many answers correct, then you will think that you are very good at that topic and you are able to score high, right? On the other hand, like if you have let's say you got too many questions wrong, okay, and that was maybe if you did not do any guesswork you could have done better than that, right? So do not make sure that you avoid guesswork and take only genuine attempts. Okay, okay, so this is the flow chart that I would like to show about the mocks that you take. Okay, what are the different types of questions that are there and how do you tackle them? Okay, now a question which you attempt, there can be three outcomes of the question, right? Either you will get it right, either you will get it wrong, or the third thing is it will be an unattempted question, right? Three possibilities. Now the only green thing that I would say, the positive thing is this. This is the only positive thing in your mock test, right? The ones that you are doing in the appropriate time, and your effort should be to maximize this. ठीक है, maximize maximization होता है, तो your objective is to maximize this part, right? And there are all these things which are not good, right? So if you get things correct, right, then you have to maximize. Now if you take too much time, what is the issue? That maybe you do not know the right approach, right? The issue can be in your approach, ठीक है, right? Or it might be like it is like problem of time management, or it is your ego that took you, like you should have skipped that question, right? That could have been a better choice, right? Maybe it was a difficult question and should have been skipped, right? So see those things. Now then, third category, as I said, that you should avoid guesswork. Suppose you got it by guess, right? You guessed wild, you made some wild guess. If it is an educated guess, fine, but if it is a wild guess, so learn that there is some knowledge gap, right? So gain that knowledge. You can learn it how to do it in a proper way, right? You might have got that was just by luck, that you just did a guesswork and it turned out to be correct. Possible, it happens. Sometimes it is educated, sometimes it is just wild guess. If it is an educated guess, good, but still you have to learn the correct way. Okay, now that is fine, right? These are the things you have to maximize. This, try to reduce this. If you take too much time, that's a bad sign, because if you are wasting too much time on a question, you can rather solve these questions which you could not attempt. Okay, now if you get a question incorrect, there are again multiple possibilities. One is you applied some wrong method. Okay, formula galat laga diya, kuch laga diya, right? So again, that's a knowledge problem. So learn how to do it in a correct way. Okay, calculation mistake. Okay, calculation mistake in CAD, you have calculators, right? So if your calculations are not great, you can use them, but calculation mistakes, be cautious next time. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा बस यही कह सकते हैं, right? And it is unavoidable, right? It's unavoidable. It might happen, right? But be cautious and increase your focus. Right, you should be more focused while taking exams. That is the only thing I can say, because calculation mistakes is evident, हो जाता है, हर किसी के साथ होता है. Even I make calculation mistakes, right? Sometimes it might happen, but yes, what you can just best do is be focused and be more attentive while solving questions. Then silly mistakes, again a focus problem, right? You did not read the complete instructions, right? You did not read the last line. ठीक है, so suppose आपने एक वेरिएबल ले लिया x, आंसर पूछा था 2x, you marked x as the answer. Okay, so those kind of silly mistakes, so that just require focus. I mean, read properly, right? Do not be too fast. Sometimes what happens is we are very fast while solving questions, right? Be at a steady pace. I'm not saying that you have to be very slow. Be at a steady pace, but accuracy should be high. Okay, so that again requires that thing, that you should not be too much in a too much hurry. Be at a normal pace. Now if questions are left unattempted, right? You did not attempt certain questions. First case could be it is a knowledge gap. You did not know how to attempt a question, right? You saw a question in quant, you did not know how to do it. Okay, so not an issue, right? Fill that knowledge gap. That's the reason you are taking the mock test, right? Your purpose of taking mock test is that you have to fill yourself with knowledge, right? Whatever knowledge you do not have, you are lacking, you have to fill that. Then second thing could be lack of time. Lack of time means you have time management issue, right? You do not know that which are the topics that suit you, which are the topics that do not suit you. You are unable to identify difficult and easy questions, right? So the way to tackle this is do solve a good number of questions, right? And as I said, strengths and weaknesses. Once you know your strengths and weaknesses, you know, okay, these are the topics I'm good at, these are the topics I'm not good at, right? So that will help you clarify these things. Okay, so if you have lack of time, so this will balance this thing. Okay, one way is to balance this, right? You are taking too much time, whereas you get lack of time, due to which you could not solve questions. So you have to bring a change to your approach, right? Solve easy questions first, right? So first should be easy questions first in any sections. Okay, you do not have to do them in order, right? So जो question easy लगता है वो सबसे पहले करना है. Do not overspend time on one particular question. See, each question carries equal marks, that every one of us knows, right? Then why to spend time on a question unnecessarily. So those things should be kept in mind. So basically your whole target should be to maximize this by minimizing all these things, right? That's what the rule of maximization minimization says, right? If you have to maximize this, you have to minimize all these. Okay, and especially minimize the incorrect ones. इससे तो क्या होगा, इससे पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट आएगा, ये न्यूट्रल रहेगा. आई मीन इफ यू आर, बट दिस इज गिविंग यू अ नेगेटिव इफेक्ट. तो नेगेटिव को पॉजिटिव करना बहुत जरूरी है, एंड ऑल्सो यू हैव टू ट्राई टू इंक्रीज दिस. ओके, now what are the things that you should learn by taking mock tests? This we discussed, that identifying your strengths and weaknesses. Now strength are something that you should start the paper, and that will give you start, that you know, okay, arithmetic is my strength, I will solve arithmetic questions first. I know verbal ability better than reading comprehension, I will solve para jumbles, para completion first, because my accuracy is good in them, right? I can solve science based RCs better, so I will solve those kind of RCs if I find them, right? I can do Venn diagram better as compared to, let us say, seating arrangement. Okay, so I will do a Venn diagram based question instead of doing a seating arrangement. My data interpretation is weak, my logical reasoning is better, so I will solve logical reasoning based set rather than data interpretation, right? So those kind of strengths and weaknesses, so that is something that you should start, and that you should keep for the end, okay, towards the end, or maybe skip also, but the beginning should always be with your strengths. Learn smart approaches to solve problems, right? So that we already discussed that if you see the solutions, you get to know that how you can improve your scores. Based on your strong and weak areas, prepare a strategy for actual examination. Now if you have appeared for multiple tests, now you know that what should be your strategy. So that strategy will be different from different person, right? I cannot guarantee that this strategy works for me, will work for everyone else, right? So within a section you will have to make some strategy, that okay, RCs, how many RCs should I attempt, मुझे RCs और non RCs पूरे करने हैं या सिर्फ RC पे ध्यान देना है, right? Some people might be there who might want to do all the RCs. On the other hand, some people might want balance of RC and then verbal ability, right? In DILR, like how many sets on an average I'm going to attempt. So what are the sets that I should start with? There are 5 sets in the examination. I will pick 3, that these 3 I'm going to attempt at any cost, right? If time permits, I will go to the 4th set. If time does not permit, okay, 3 sets I have targeted, at least I will try to finish 2 at least, right? So all these strengths, weakness, strategy you will have to make for the examination, okay? And these will come when you have taken mocks. मॉक दोगे तो पता चलेगा ना कि हाँ हम यहाँ गलती करते हैं, यहाँ हम अच्छा करते हैं. So accordingly we will appear in the examination. Don't get demotivated by low scores. A lot of you comment that my scores are not rising and all those things. Understand that learnings from the mocks are very important, right? Learning ki what are your strength, weaknesses, how are you going to attempt the paper, that is important. Mocks scores are actually do not matter, right? There have been people who have been scoring 50-60 percentile in mocks, but they get 95 to plus percentile in the actual examination. There might be people who are consistently scoring good but could not do well in the examination, right? So do not get demotivated by low scores. Learn from them, that is the main thing, okay? And these mocks, remember, the mocks are difficult than the actual examination. Sometimes there might be some very unnecessarily lengthy questions in the mocks, okay? And don't get complacent by high scores. Maybe there are some persons who manage to do well in all the mocks, their scores are very good, right? So now what happens is they get complacent, they think, acha, someone told me ki if I get 90 90 90 in all these mocks, I will be able to get 99 percentile in the actual examination, right? So do not go by any such things, right, that you are getting these many in mocks and you will be able to score this much in the examination. There is no such relation between them, okay? So do not go by any such thing. If someone tells you that you score this much, you will get this much in the examination, not unnecessary, right? So do not get too relaxed also, do not get nervous also. Just make sure that you learn from the mocks, that's it. right? Forget mock scores. Whatever the mock scores that you get, don't worry about them. Now, mocks are there for you to experiment. You can experiment anything, right, to find the right strategy. Now, you must have seen in World Cups and all, right? Unfortunately, India could not make it to the semi-final this time. But what happens in the league stage, right? Teams try to experiment things that which player should they play in the match, right? So they keep changing the team to experiment things. Okay, what should be the batting order, right? So similarly, in mocks, you have to find the you have to do some experiments, right? कि एक बार VA में हमने RCs पहले करके देख ली, एक बार वर्बल पार्ट पहले करके देख लिया, right? DILR में like we try to do these kind of sets, in other one I tried to do different kind of sets, right? In quant I decided some other strategy. Okay, so whatever experiments you want to take, right, be it about the time of solving questions, right, whichever method you want to apply, test them while taking mock test. And you should commit as many mistakes, right? You should not be ashamed of committing mistakes. Arey yaar galti ho gayi, right? If you do not commit mistakes, you will not learn things also, right? But if you commit mistakes, you have to learn things. It should not be that you just committed mistakes and you think that okay, it's a good thing to commit mistake. No, it is not. It's not a bad thing, but at the same time, you have to learn them. That is very very important, right? Mistakes will happen, but learning from the mistakes is the main thing that you have to focus on, so that you can get a good score in the actual examination. Okay. All right. So these are some courses that we have, right? CAT 2021 and 2022, which are running, and we have launched a course for or for SNAP and MAT, IFT, TestNet, etc. Okay. And these are the mentors at BYJU'S Exam Prep that prepare you for different MBA entrance examinations. I'm sure you must have attended their classes. Okay, so this was about the mock test, right? How do you should be taking mock tests, how you should be utilizing these mock tests, right? So all these things we discussed in this video. I hope you found it useful, right? And yes, if you liked the session, right, so please don't forget to like it, right? And I hope you will follow the things that we discussed, that right, what should be the ways, and how you should be analyzing thing, right? And do not get demotivated by mock scores. A lot of students say that we are not able to score well. Don't worry, right? Learn from the mistakes and learn that what are the things that you want to improve upon, right? So just improve those things and make sure that you do not spend a lot of time on one particular type of question. Learn your strengths and weaknesses so that you have something ready for the examination day. You know that okay, I'm going to start with this particular type of sets in the DILR section, these kind of RCs, these kind of verbal questions, or in quant, which is the thing that I want to start. Like, do you want to start with algebra, you want to start with geometry, arithmetic? What are the topics that I know very well, what are the topics I do not know? So those things, keep yourself ready for the examination, that this is the strategy that you are going to follow in the examination. Okay. All right, so thanks for watching this video. Have a great night, and all the best for your preparation. Okay, so last 20 days are left, and utilize these days well, and I hope you will come out with flying colors in the examination. So thanks, have a great night, goodbye.